guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Soph. On this channel we talk about all things books, beauty and whatever I feel like talking about that week. Today's video is going to be my August TBR. Now for last month I had A Touch of Darkness, They Both Die in the End, This Lie Will Kill You, Circe, and then I had Song of Achilles and Law, which are both upstairs because I'm like kind of reading them now. I managed to read A Touch of Darkness. I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was amazing. The writing style is not the best. It's not like professional or anything like that. And it's kind of cheesy in all the best ways, but you cannot put this book down. And the world and everything that is happening in this book is really good, and I will be picking up the next book. And I also read They Both Die in the End, and I believe I gave this one a 3 because it was so hyped up, and I hyped it up a lot in myself as well, which probably didn't help, but I liked it. I liked the themes, the plot, everything that happened, but I found it a really slow read and I didn't get attached to the characters, so when it came to the end I didn't cry, and I really wanted a book to cry at, and I thought this was going to be that book, but it just wasn't. So that's why I gave it a 3 stars, but I'm glad I read it. That is actually it. Oh my god. But I did actually read Kingdom of Flesh and Fire and A Crown of Gilded Bones in the last 2, or the second and the third book in the From Blood and Ash series. I wasn't going to, but I got them on ebook and I read them. Yeah, I didn't really get round to many of my actual TBR because I spent all my time reading the From Blood and Ash series because I literally couldn't focus on anything other than that. I started A Touch of Darkness like at the beginning of July, but I just couldn't get into it. So yeah, that's why I haven't done much. I am currently reading Law, and I did start Song of Achilles, so I think I'll finish Law. I was going to say I think I'll finish Law by the end of July, but unless I get my reading on today, that won't happen. But I'd say like within the next couple of days. A Song of Achilles I'm probably gonna have to put down and pick back up at another time because it's not on my reading list for August. As for Circe and This Lie Will Kill You, I think I'm gonna save This Lie Will Kill You for October, and I'm gonna have like a whole month of like spooky, thrillery kind of vibes. I think that's probably the better time to read it, to be honest. And Circe I will try and fit in again, but again, that is not on my reading list for August. Now let's get into what is on my list for August. So here I have a very healthy pile of books to read this month, and that makes me nervous because of how badly July went. I honestly thought July was going to be the month that I get through so many books because I had a holiday, but then we ended up binge watching Supernatural, so I wasn't reading as much. So I can't help it, but I'm going to try this month to be better. So in no particular order, I'm just picking them up from the part as they are. First up is Threadneedle by Carrie Thomas. This book I've had on my wish list for so long because it wasn't out yet. And it is about it's a magical fantasy about a girl who her aunt has warned her against magic like her entire life, and she's like eagerly awaiting the ceremony that binds her magic to her. But she meets these 2 other people and they show her London as she's never seen it, with like nightclubs where people like lose themselves in spells. There's a secret library where the librarian feeds off of words and things like that. Very Harry Pottery. And then this makes her question whether her auntie was actually right and whether her magic is a gift or a curse. So this is a chunky book, so this will take up a lot of my time, but I couldn't wait to read this, and it has to go on this month because I think if I don't read it this month I might cry. It's the same as I got Crescent City as well, which I was hoping to read this month. However, the lady at Waterstone said that the next one doesn't come out till February, and I will kick myself if I read it too fast and then have to wait another like 7 months. So yeah, But this one, I don't know anything about a sequel, so I will be reading this one straight away. We then have The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. This one I'm debating still because this feels like an October kind of book, but I've seen so many people raving about it, so I really want to read it. This is a thriller about a murder mystery. There's a secret society of students known as the Maidens, and they're run by a professor, and our main character in this believes that the professor has something to do with a bunch of murders because he seems to know more than anybody else about the murders. And yeah, so it's just a murder mystery and it sounds so good and loads of people have raved about it, so I'm hoping it's as good as everyone says it is. So yeah, this I am thinking this is going to be a 4 to 5 star read, I'm hoping. We then have, and I couldn't not have this on my TBR because I knew I was going to read it anyway, so I thought I might as well include it. And that is A Court of Mist and Fury. It's the second book to A Court of Thorns and Roses, following Feyre adjusting to her life as a fae and everything that happens after, and all like the trauma from the ending of Court of Thorns and Roses. And I believe her relationship with a certain high fae lord develops, and honestly I want the whole series to be on my TBR for August because I loved Court of Thorns and Roses. Clearly not as much as I loved the Blood and Ash series because I have been able to put off reading this one, but I literally could not read the 3 Blood and Ash books. But now that I've got this, I'm very excited and I will definitely be reading it this month. This will probably actually be the first book I pick up like tomorrow. Well, once I finish Law, this will be the first book I pick up, I imagine, and I am so excited to read it. I do also have the one after this, A Court of Wings and Ruin. Yeah, A Court of Wings and Ruin. So if I do well this month, I might treat myself and read the next one of this one. But yeah, so I don't want to give it too much away with this one because obviously it is the second book, and if you haven't read A Court of Thorns and Roses, first of all, why not? And second of all, I don't want to ruin it for you. Okay, next up is a book that I've had a while actually. It's one of the first books I bought when I got back into reading and buying books that I saw on like BookTube and Book Talk and stuff like that. And that is Legendborn by Tracy Dion. This one, if I remember correctly, it's about a girl that gets sent to a school because her parents died. Yeah. After her mother dies in an accident, 16-year-old Bree Matthews wants to escape. A residential program for bright high schoolers seems like the perfect opportunity, until she witnesses a magical attack her very first night on campus. A flying demon feeding on human energies, a secret society of so-called Legendborn that hunt the creatures down, a mystery mage who calls himself a Merlin and who attempts and fails to wipe Bree's memory of everything she saw. The mage's failure unlocks Bree's own unique magic and a buried memory from the night her mother died. Now Bree will do whatever it takes to discover the truth, even infiltrate the Legendborn. But when the Legendborn reveal themselves as the descendants of King Arthur's knights and foretell a magical war, Bree must decide how far she'll go for the truth. Should she use her magic to take the society down or to join the fight? So yeah, this sounds amazing and I've actually seen a lot of good reviews on it, which makes me very excited to read it. I was starting to worry that I wasn't going to find YA fantasy as good because obviously I've been in like From Blood and Ash, which definitely isn't YA. A Court of Thorns and Roses is counted as YA, but it's got some like adult scenes in it, so I'm not sure if it does count. But yeah, and I don't know if that's why I didn't enjoy They Both Die at the End as much, because it is a YA book, but typically I do like YA, so I'm hoping that wasn't the case. So I'm very excited to read this. I think it sounds so good, right up my street. I will obviously let everyone know my thoughts. I have a Goodreads if you want to follow it. I will link it down in the bottom. But yeah, I am actually really excited to read this one. But part of me is saying, read it at Halloween. I don't think I can wait. And the last one on the August TBR is, first of all, before I go into this, should I make a game for my TBR so I don't have to go in and like choose which books I want to read? I can just like leave it to chance. I feel like that would be a lot more fun because I find myself steering away from the same books every month and coming up with excuses as to why I'm not going to read them that month, when in reality I do want to read them, I just don't want to put them on my TBR, and it doesn't really make sense. If you think I should do a game, comment down below. We have Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. Again, this is a book that I wanted because so many people have raved about it. This was actually my birthday present from my brother. He gifted me the money to get it. And this is about a boy and a girl who are pen pals because their teachers kind of misidentify them. Because the boy's called Misha and the girl is called Ryan, so they think that they're like, so like Misha's teacher thinks that Ryan is a boy and therefore pairs Misha with him, and Ryan's teacher think that Misha is a girl and pairs Ryan with her, but it's a him. But they don't say anything about it, and then they come up with these rules like no phone numbers, no pictures, all of this, so they don't want to meet, they just stick with what they talk about and everything like that. But then eventually I think Misha sees a picture of Ryan online, and suddenly he really needs to meet her, and like things aren't what he expected them to be or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, I don't know too much about the actual plot, but I know that it has some like scenes, adult scenes in it. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this. I haven't got many romance, like non-fantasy romance books, so I'm very excited to read this. However, this does have like bully romance tropes in it, so if you're triggered by that or anything like that, please do not go into this without that warning. But yeah, I'm very excited to read this. Again, I've seen so many good reviews about this book, so I hope it's as good as everyone has said. Honestly, out of all the books I've chosen for this month, I genuinely don't know what I'm going to start with because I want to read them all really bad. They're all books that I'm like dying to read. Help me. So that is my TBR for August. We have 5 books on there, but 2 of them are quite chunky, so I'm okay with that. I'm averaging at about 5 books a month anyway, so if I can read more then I will, obviously, but I'm very happy with my choices this month. If you like this video, please give us a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more. And if you do a TBR or you have a plan of books you're reading or what you're reading next, let us know. I want to know what you're reading now, what you plan to read, books you're liking and hating recently. Let us know everything down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.